the DeltaDev. Welcome to my first video in a series of my game development journey. Today I'm going to be choosing an engine for which I want to use to develop my games in future and showing you the method and criteria I will use in the hopes that it may help you determine what engine you'd like to pick for yourself if you don't know where to start. Before we begin, I think it is very important to clarify what exactly it is we are choosing. A game engine is a software framework that provides the tools, libraries, and systems needed to structure, build, and run a game. This includes the main gameplay loop, object scripting, audio, physics, rendering, and more. You can think of a game engine like starting with the bare chassis of a car, which is an outer shell, engine, transmission, and gearbox to work, representing the graphics, code, sound, and writing respectively. Some examples of game engines are Unity, Unreal, Godot, and ClickTeam Fusion 2.5. What all these engines have in common are that they have a built-in IDE, tools for importing sprites and 3D objects, methods that are catered specifically to creating games, like scene management, physics engines, animation systems, and real-time rendering. A game framework is a lighter software framework that provides only the most basic tools and systems to structure, build, and run a game. It often requires you to create and import your own libraries and tools or others in order to ease and streamline the building of your game. You can think of this as being provided the raw materials and tools to build a car and having to design and assemble everything yourself. Some examples of game frameworks include Love2D, Monogame, Raylib, libgdx, and libgdx. What these frameworks have in common is that they provide the bare essential methods and tools to render graphical images, and audio playback, not providing physics, collision detection, or scene management. On top of that, it provides no IDE, meaning you need to use a third-party text editor like Visual Studio Code and manage your file system carefully. Now, let's begin. First, draw a table with 3 columns. Title each column from left to right with the titles Strengths, Weaknesses, and Engines respectively. Fill the columns in with what you believe could be relevant to making a game, like the ability to write code in a certain language, or the ability to create art or music, or the quality of your writing. Here is mine as an example. Based on your table, you can now start deciding what path you will be able to go down. For all intensive purposes, I recommend a game engine over a game framework. In most situations, as they provide you with a structured environment which is easier to gain confidence and understanding with the engine and allows you to maintain your projects easier over time after the initial learning curve of getting up to speed with the engine's features, tools, and systems. A game framework, on the other hand, has its benefits too. It allows you to have nearly absolute control over how every system in your game behaves. Additionally, it allows you to add features that game engines have overlooked, or features so niche and different that it simply can't be implemented without a lower level of access to the inner workings of the engine. Otherwise, if you'd simply like the challenge and improve your understanding of a programming language, knock yourself out. Although I'd recommend researching your engines and frameworks I mentioned before, the links to each are in the description, as well as any others you are interested in. I will try and break down and help direct you to what engine you could approach first based on what your strengths and weaknesses are. If you struggle with programming or have no knowledge of it at all, you would like to try your hand at it, I would recommend the Godot game engine. The reason being it has a sleek UI which is a breeze to learn, use, and get comfortable with. The scripting language used in Godot, GDScript, which is similar to Python, which itself is rather easy for first-time or beginner programs to learn and use. In fact, I do recommend you first learn Python with the book Automate the Boring Stuff with Python by Al Sweigart. I'll leave the link in the description. It has built-in support for sprite sheets, tile maps, animation, audio playback, and lots of audio settings to play around with, and so much more. As well as that, it allows for the creation of both 2D and 3D games. On top of this, the Godot community itself is active, large, friendly to new and old developers alike. If you have any questions, the r/go.reddit is always there to help. But if you'd prefer a coding-free alternative, I can recommend GDevelop, as it has a similar coding or visual coding style to Construct 3 and ClickTeam Fusion, while being completely free and allowing you the ability to export your game to a variety of operating systems. If you're creatively limited and you struggle to make art and music, but you adore and want to make a more mechanically focused game, filled to the brim with advanced systems, I would recommend Unity or Unreal Engine. The reason being, you aren't limited to any variety of nodes and can script any object in your game to act in any possible way you'd like. Unity and Unreal are built to use more mature object-oriented programming languages, allowing you to construct classes which can support more forms of inheritance, like abstract classes, interfaces, and the creation of low-level data structures. Both engines are on the cutting edge of technical complexity with the liquid, lighting, and physics engines. Or, if you feel like a game engine gives you too many unnecessary features that would add bloat, or you would like to develop tools and learn along the way, then I recommend Monogame, Raylib, or Love2D game frameworks, as they provide you full control of what you'd like your game to be and add technical complexity to your heart's content. If you're a jack of all trades, master of none, or a master of all, then you can probably pick up any engine you'd like with ease. In this case, I would recommend you do more research than what this meager video provides you and explore each engine till you find what fits you. I know, cliche, but in this specific case, that is the best advice I can give. If you have chosen an engine or engines, don't just lock yourself to your choice or immediately give up after running into a hurdle. Try and make 2 or 3 simple games, like Pong or Flappy Bird, to get a feel for how the engine or framework functions, and see if you can get a workflow that feels good, or at least makes you feel confident and comfortable with what you've chosen before bouncing off to the next, or choosing to continue to invest your time in learning and growing with the one you've chosen. Taking my own advice, the next videos on my channel will be about the game engines I've personally chosen, being the Godot game engine and Love2D. As I have experience with both, now it's just a matter of getting comfortable with either of them or bouncing off to the next. But that's all I have to share with you today. Go become the indie dev of your dreams, and I wish you luck with all your endeavors. This has been the DeltaDev, and I will see you next time.